This is Business and Economy Network.
Hello viewers, glad to know you are watching a program. Those of you watching us in faraway Abuja, Port Harcourt, Enugu, Sokoto, those of you watching us outside the shores of Nigeria, those of you doing online, I want to say thank you so very much. You are watching your program, Business and Economy Network. My name is Chairman Peter Nwoche. Nigerian economy. What's the state of Nigerian economy today? For straight talk, we have the Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer of FERMA, Federal Road Maintenance Agency, is with us on the program today. He's going to talk about so much about their project and also about road maintenance. This has to do with even farmers and transporters, the state of our roads in Nigeria, how they fare and what they are doing. And for Spotlight, we have the Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer of BASHMOH Homes, affordable housing for all Nigeria. Like they said, delivering affordable housing. The housing deficit in Nigeria, how can this be bridged between the private and also the government? Over 70%, so to speak. The Managing Director is going to deal decisively on this. Well, it's going to be an interesting watch. Relax yourself, brace up. But always remember this, I've often said. Determination and perseverance. With focus, we always take you to the top. Be determined. Don't let the challenges of today take you down. And don't look at the challenges that you are going through that you are not going to be successful. No. If you are focused, definitely you smile at the end of it all. I'll be back after this time out.
Engineer Nuruddin Rafindade, the Managing Director of the Federal Road Maintenance Agency, FERMA. The agency is saddled with the responsibilities of maintaining most Nigerian roads, especially federal roads. In every organization, training is vital, which is one reason why the agency has taken time out to cater for staff training, both formal and informal, like the provision of interactive forums, retreats, and the ability for staff to share real-time day-to-day experiences on the job. In recent times, the Managing Director and the entire agency has been actively involved in social media as a sure driver to push the activities of FERMA more to the Nigerian public.
We are actually very serious with training, and since I have come, I have tried to re-imbibe the culture of not only training but having retreats with staff and forums that we can discuss and share our experiences both physically and online. And since I have come, we have reinvigorated the media platform, social media platform of our staff, where we can discuss day-to-day real-time issues on maintenance of federal roads, and where professional suggestions are put forward to our staff that are right out there on site on the best way to handle different situations. Why it is also necessary for us to keep imbibing training is that we need to keep developing new technologies. One of the early things that I pushed when I resumed in FERMA about 15 months ago is to create a platform for the management of our projects, which is called Project Development Management Services Platform, PDMS. And on that platform, we deal with the handling of projects from the moment they are signed out to contractors. And that platform deals with inputs from all our 38 state engineers and all our 12 zonal coordinators, and they put input regarding the progress reporting of the project, regarding the field valuation of the value of what is actually done, regarding certification for payment, and regarding reporting generally, and also regarding the monitoring and evaluation of the project. These are new ways to deal and handle the projects that improve our efficiency, but you have to train the staff in order to do that. And I'll say this for the staff of FERMA. The staff of FERMA, which is about 1,500 plus now, in FERMA you have the largest concentration of people that are experienced in maintaining and managing federal roads, obviously, because it's the only such agency in Nigeria. And all the staff need is a little motivation and training and reorientation, and you will find that you get the best out of them. So we have taken the element of training both to recreate awareness of the importance of the staff's duties, and also to introduce new processes and procedures in the conception and the process and management of our projects, and also maintaining the projects and evaluating the impacts of our projects. In order for funding of maintenance of highways to be sustainable, it has to be tied to a revenue stream that is sustainable. Budget line is not sustainable. It has its own dynamics, it has its own vagaries, it has seasonalities, and even if you are given the adequate appropriation, the actual release has its own problems. The roads, on the other hand, they are constantly being used. It's not seasonal. Regardless of the season, regardless of the budget, regardless of the economy, as long as the traffic on the road keeps increasing, you need maintenance on the roads. And that is why there is frequent call for a model that ensures that sustainability. And I think, as you very well know, in my own thinking as a professional, the best way to do that is to tie the funding to the roads to the level of stream of traffic that is following the road. Indeed, in the FERMA Amendment Act of 2007, there is a provision that I think 1.5% of the pricing template for petroleum products should be reserved for roads maintenance, just roads maintenance. Out of this fund, which is created by that levy, 40% should go to maintenance of the federal roads. It means it should go to FEMA. And 60% should be distributed to state road agencies, which is a recognition of the fact that another large portion of the kilometerage of highways in the country are under the auspices of the state governments. That provision in that act has, as of today, not been implemented. I will say that if it was implemented, we will have much more adequate funding to maintain federal roads. Sometime last year, we did our own calculations, and we find that what we've been losing, what we've been missing of that fund between 2007 and now is over 800 billion naira. Now, where you are talking of a situation where we have less than 5% of that as our annual capital budget in FEMA. And I can tell you that the budget of Lagos State alone for its roads is higher than the budget for FEMA. And I'm telling this Lagos State budgeting for state roads, not federal roads. Even our federal roads inside Lagos are probably the same or more than state roads in terms, not in terms of kilometers, but in terms of the requirements for its adequate maintenance. So this shows you just the kind of scale that we are trying to manage. And we have 38 state offices across the country because each state has an office of FEMA. Lagos has 2, Lagos West and Lagos East. And we have an office in the federal capital. So we have 38 state offices. In addition to that, we have 12 zonal offices because that is the nature of the size and level of activity we have. And each of these offices are manned by workers and professionals who are charged with maintaining our federal roads and sometimes even non-federal roads. So the size of our operation is huge. The amount is not nearly as adequate, and I think that that remains the biggest gap on the question of maintaining federal roads in this country.
Alhaji Bashir Jimoh is the Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer of BASHMOH Homes Limited, located in Lagos State, Nigeria. The firm started well almost a decade with the primary aim to bridge the gap and provide real-time solutions to the challenges of housing as it concerns the middle-level Nigerian, also to make positive changes on people's life and create wealth through employment. BASHMOH Homes have been able to make a difference and contribute its quota to reducing the ever-rising rate of housing deficit in Lagos and its environs. BASHMOH is a one-stop shop for estate development, land documentations, and sales of farm estates.
We started off about 8 years ago when I left banking and looked around to say, okay, how do I contribute to the country's economy? What are the areas of needs? And how do we impact on people's lives to create jobs for Nigerians? We looked at what we currently have then, that the economy was booming. It was under Jonathan, and the concentration was more on Lekki Phase 1 and top-level prime properties. We decided to choose middle-level properties, properties that an average working class can afford, properties that you can use your NHF to fund, properties that if you are working reasonably, you should have a 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom bungalows or 4-bedroom duplexes where you can put your family in areas that are developing. We didn't concentrate on Lekki Phase 1. We chose Mowe axis. We have properties, estates in Orimeromo. We have estates in Shimawa, and we also have in Aton. And aside that, we were also the very few ones to venture into Ibejuleki after free trade zone. We have an estate in Ibejuleki, and we also have in Ekpe. Basically, that's what we do in BASHMOH Homes. And aside this, BASHMOH Homes also do other activities. Like we sell farmlands to teeming Nigerian youths that want to go into agriculture. We have farmlands in Iseyin for sale. We have farmlands in Ekpe. We have farmlands in Wasimi. We have lots of people that are currently on our farm estates, and they are doing cassava, lot of poultry, farming, animal husbandry, because basically the proximity of our land to Lagos. If you have your farm produce, you go to your farm, between an hour or two, you are here in Lagos where the market is. That is what. And lastly, also do documentation. You might not buy lands from us, but you want us to advise you on process that through which you can get your C of O. We offer such consulting advices to our prospective clients. The uniqueness of our estate is it delivers value. It ensures that we always tell our clients that you do not need to have billions or 100 millions or 200 millions to get to build or own a property of yours. If you look at our logo, we said delivering housing for all. It means you can start with 300,000, 400,000 and build according to your capacity. You need not to have 20 million, 30 million to start building. So if you conclude, say, a 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom duplex with like 7 million, it's okay, because the value of a property is as you can afford. There are people that want Spanish tiles. There are people that could only afford Chinese tiles. There are people that want marbles. There are those that will only want tiles in their property. And those are our focus. Focus to the middle level and lower level boundaries, rather than going for premium houses with premium prices. And most Nigerians certainly cannot afford that. Most banks now are looking for real sector players to advance funds to, and as such they've been approaching us. However, what is not encouraging is the pricing. A situation where you are to pay about 30 to 35% all in on a real estate finance or on, say, an OD, but the mortgage banks, which of course do have lower pricing, do not have the necessary capacity to advance funds. So most of the real estate operators, what you do is you place in your funds get supplementary bridge finance from commercial banks, and you pay over sometimes. But frankly, the banking industry in terms of pricing is not been encouraging. But I tell you what, they've been approaching us with the introduction of single treasury account. They are looking for also good new businesses. The oil and gas businesses, we all know what again. So we've been approached so many times for a partnership with banks. However, the pricing has been the issue. When we started, what we looked at is that it is very difficult for someone between level 07 in the civil service now, 07 to like level 12, to get to gather 10 million cash that let me buy a property. We now said, okay, the best we need to do is let's do like a counterpart funding arrangement. What we do is you identify the kind of property you want in our estate. We'll build for you. The building is between 8 million, and we ask you to pay over 5 years without interest. What you will be doing is that, however, you must start paying monthly. After 12 months, the keys will be delivered to you. You occupy the property. You continuously pay your rental till the end. That is when legal titles will be transferred to you. That is what we do. That is one. Secondly, we have arrangement with most cooperatives. We have about 20 cooperatives we've been working with in Lagos and around the southwest here. It's just now that we are discussing with one or two in Abuja. We give 50% counterpart funding into it. If a property costs like 10 million, the cooperative might probably require 20 units. What we ask them to do is, okay, give us 5%, 5 million each. We give our 5 million to it and deliver to you. The balance of 5 million should be spread between 3, 4, 5 years, and that's what we do. So, and working with the cooperative has been tremendously helpful in providing housing, because at least you are now working with clusters and groups, and when you do that, the cooperators are traceable. Like in Lagos State, we have Ministry of Cooperative, and they go through their books every now and then to ensure that okay, they are doing the right thing as at when due. So definitely that's what we've done to ensure easy accessibility to housing. What we have done is to create two boundaries. The first one is structured house ownership. If you are a working class and you have little funds, you come to us, we discussed, and we'll put in a structure that your fund can accommodate. We probably expose to you too to the tune of 30, 40, 50%, depending on our risk criteria and assessment of you. And at least at the end of it, you have a property. The second strategy we have used is to go through cooperative. As we speak, Lekki British International School, the staff cooperative, we had what we are doing with them. GNLD staff cooperative, we have what we are doing with them in terms of provision of houses. We just concluded another one with Havana Staff Cooperative Society. And with all this, all we've tried to do is to ensure that houses are delivered to those that want it with stable means stream of income.
This is Business and Economy Network.
Welcome back, viewers. I want to say a big thank you so very much. You've heard what these great men have said. They are all Nigerians. The managing director of FERMA and also the managing director of BASHMOH Homes. But remember this, your success and happiness starts with you. How happy are you today? Stop complaining. It must not be all the time government, government, government. Start doing something today. Don't forget, a little drop of water makes a mighty ocean. I'm doing my own part. What about you? See you again same time next week, God's willing. Stay blessed.